Hey guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I wanted to hop on here really quick and share a quick piece of information with you guys. I'm sure you all are aware of Hurricane Helene in the Gulf Coast, soon to be making landfall on the panhandle of Florida. A very impressive storm, very deadly storm, talking over 12 to 18 feet of storm surge across some locations there on the coast of Florida, as well as 8+ inches of rain coming in across Georgia and the Appalachians. They're going to cause massive issues there with potential mudslides and whatnot. Eventually, the truth does come out, okay? This is going to sound very foreign to you, but there are technologies in place that can manufacture these storms and create these storms. And as a meteorologist, analyzing water vapor imagery maps, all the different layers of satellite infrared, and looking at NEXRAD radar network, you look at all these components that go in together with this, and it's extremely obvious that we're not dealing with God's weather. They have technologies in place that manufacture these completely, and I'm sure there are meteorologists out there that know something's wrong. They don't want to come out and say anything about this because your livelihood and your job are at stake with this. But I want to backtrack about 4 days ago, when we're looking at computer models and spaghetti model plots of a storm hitting the panhandle of Florida, when we don't even have a storm formed to begin with yet. So we have a cluster of disorganized thunderstorms that are around the Yucatan, south of Cuba, several days back. Hadn't even developed into any closed low circulation yet, but we have models that show this major hurricane already hitting the coast. I understand from a safety and a public perspective, it's always important to notify the public when something is potentially going to be a threat, but this is the first time I have ever seen in forecasting a storm that hasn't formed yet and is forecasted to be a potential Category 3 or 4 hurricane hitting the panhandle of Florida. That is extremely alarming to say with such certainty you're going to have something occur when it hasn't even formed yet. On top of this system, this storm, has brought, of course, massive sensationalism. It's a storyline. It creates and drives conflict across the U.S., and this is what everything is focused on. So I understand it as a meteorologist. It's really cool to see this system. It is really cool to see a rapidly intensifying hurricane and looking at the damage and sheer destruction the storm can produce. But you can get lost in that, okay? You can get lost in how impressive these storms can be. But what's even more impressive and disturbing is that these aren't being generated or made naturally. They're being manipulated and sequestered and developed. And again, the truth is going to come out one day. I'm ahead of the game with this. I know other colleagues or other individuals or other meteorologists, some of course are aware of this stuff, but seeing is believing. It takes time, but the truth is going to come out. It's very hard to come out here and say this, but this is so deeply and morally conflicting that this just can't continue, guys. You get to a point where you just have to come out and say this stuff. And I do look like I have 3 heads on my shoulders. That's okay. That's fine. But I just want you guys to know that this is what's coming down road, okay? The truth does come out eventually.